This is Rod Kusin and Spooman for the RSK open source automated Emini trading system. For years, we have taught traders a consistently working methodology for manually reading the premium. But now, we have created a full-featured open source programmable strategy designed to automate personalized conditions for trade signals, including stops and profit targets, with full discretionary powers to execute or ignore a trade. Included are over a dozen default setups that capture the trend of the premium and major ES pivot points. The open source code allows traders with even a basic knowledge of easy language to create their own working strategies within the confines of 13 different studies. 12 of those studies are based upon the renowned mathematician Mark Jurek and the Jurek indicators that you can find commercially available on the internet. Let's take a look at the system. The first major component of the system is the broadcast indicator. This indicator is capable of simultaneously calculating 13 different studies. As we already mentioned, the majorities of these studies are based upon Jurek algorithms. They include stochastics, the MACD, the CCX indicator, VEL, the RSX JMA, the RSX double, as well as the Jurek moving average. And we use 4 different moving averages, as well as the DMX and Spearman's RCI, also known as the RCC. The broadcast indicator sends the results of these calculations to screens that can both plot the results of those calculations or send the results to strategies that will wind up plotting actual trade signals on the screen. Contained within each strategy are various settings that can be manipulated by the trader to suit his personal needs. We have a field for entering the number of contracts to trade, the various strings that are associated with the data that we're collecting, and entering into logical sequences to establish our specific trade conditions. We can establish whether we want this strategy to trade in one direction or both. We can establish profit targets and split those profit targets according to your personal desires. We can set up our stops. But the most important feature is the ability to look directly at the code and modify it to suit your personal needs. As stated, our strategies are open source. If you have a basic knowledge of easy language, you can utilize that knowledge to establish your own particular trading conditions. This video will not go into all of the depth of easy language programming, but rather is here to demonstrate that we truly are open source. Everything that is contained within the strategy can be accessed by the trader. Most importantly, however, is where we establish the trade conditions. We have 26 different particular conditions that can be written according to the individual desires of the trader. In this section of the code, for example, we utilize our stochastics and set up specific trade conditions, such as when the stochastic is truly overbought or oversold, or what the trend of the stochastic is. The same is true with the CCX indicator. We can establish a specific level at which true conditions exist, or we can look at the trend. The same is true with the RSX, the RSJ, the RSD, and our moving averages. And then, according to the needs of the trader, we establish what conditions we want to have included in each individual strategy. Each strategy, of course, can have its own particular identifier in the way of a trade arrow. The number of different conditions a trader may wish to program into the strategy are, in fact, unlimited. Any condition that can be written into easy language can be reflected in the strategy, but of course it is limited by the number of studies that are being sent to the strategy. A strategy could be programmed to look at just a specific condition or a string of conditions that make up one large strategy. And multiple strategies can be combined to generate trade signals. The fundamental principle, however, to learning how to properly program a strategy is first of all learning how to read the premium. All of that is included in part of our course. Any action performed by these indicators can be replicated within the strategy, and any combination of actions on the part of these indicators can be pooled together to create a specific condition in which a trade signal will take place. By constantly monitoring the premium, outstanding trade opportunities can be found and executed. The results can be astounding. Multiple strategies can be set up on any given chart so that any respective condition that the trader wants to modify, as well as monitor, can be independently viewed utilizing individualized trade arrows that identify the specific condition that is being monitored. For more information or to ask for a demo, contact us. You'll be glad you did.